SpaceX just became one of the most valuable companies on Earth. But the real story is not the stock price. The real story is what the market is starting to believe about the future. For the last 50 years, a lot of the world has been taught to think smaller. Less energy, less ambition, less risk, and less building. Manage decline, optimize scarcity, make peace with limits. And then along comes a company that says, what if the future is not smaller? What if the future is bigger? What if humanity is not finished expanding? That is what SpaceX represents. Not just rockets, not just satellites, not just Starlink. SpaceX represents a radical drop in the cost of access to space. And when the cost of access to something drops dramatically, entirely new industries appear. That is what happened with computing. That is what happened with the internet. That is what happened with smartphones. The first people looked at computers and saw calculators. Then the world got software, search engines, cloud computing, social media, e-commerce, and artificial intelligence. The same thing may happen with space. Right now, most people still think of space as government missions, astronauts, satellites, and science fiction. But if launch becomes cheap, frequent, and reusable, space starts to look less like a destination and more like infrastructure. Orbital manufacturing, global satellite internet, and space-based research. AI infrastructure, powered by constant solar energy. New materials that can only be made in microgravity. Commercial space stations. Lunar construction. Eventually, Mars. Some of this may take longer than the optimists think. Some of it may fail. Some of it may arrive in forms we do not expect. But the direction is hard to ignore. The big shift is this. Space is moving from exploration to economics. From flags and footprints to supply chains and platforms. From one-off missions to repeatable logistics. And that is why this moment matters. Because the company that makes space access routine does not just participate in the space economy, it helps create the space economy. This is not financial advice. This is not a recommendation to buy anything, but it is a signal. The world is hungry for builders again. Hungry for companies that do more than manage apps, ads, and attention. Hungry for a future that feels physical, ambitious, and alive. Rockets are not just machines. They are symbols. They tell us we are not done. They tell us that progress is still possible. They tell us that the next era does not have to be defined by decline. It can be defined by abundance, more energy, more mobility, more manufacturing, more discovery, more frontier. The automated age will not just be about artificial intelligence replacing tasks. It will be about AI, robotics, energy, manufacturing, and space combining into something much larger. A new industrial age, a new infrastructure age, maybe even a new civilizational age. The pessimists spent decades telling us the future will be smaller. SpaceX is betting the future will be bigger. And right now, the market seems to be saying, maybe they are right.